Vacations.
Vacation
Something
coverage.
near and dear to all our hearts.
Yes. I don't know about you all, but for me, for the 10 years of my career, I could never get away on vacation. I was always mentally still on, and I wish that I would have had somebody backing me up.
You're still married, right?
Yes, indeed. Woohoo! I could never fully turn off, and I genuinely wish that I did.
Yep.
When you're on vacation, you're there for a purpose, to unplug, have some of that quality family time. We're realtors for a reason. We try and have that balance of quality of life, and it's very hard as a realtor.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go on vacation, my recommendation to everybody is do just that. Unplug. Try and get away from your phone. Trust a gentleman like David in his
I've done it
years.
both ways.
Yep.
Unplugging is more fun.
Yes, 100%. So in terms of vacation coverage and designated agency is something we'll also get into. David, what do associates need to think about when they are heading out on vacation so that their businesses are looked after?
Well, besides making sure the cooler's full of beer, you have to decide if you're going to have someone cover your business or not, and what are the pros and cons of that. So when we think about it, if you're going away for 3 or 4 days, you're going camping, you're going to have limited access, you've promised your clients a tremendous amount. It's something you should get someone in. Now, you're going to your in-laws for a week and you want an excuse to get away from them. Some of us now with the e-world, if I didn't have listings, no active buyers, but people that were just kind of on searches but not actively looking, I've done it that route where I've covered it.
Yes.
And you got to pay attention to your email, you got to watch your texts. It does detract from your vacation,
Yes.
but it can be done. Nowadays with electronic signing systems, everything, so much of what we do is no longer face-to-face.
Yes.
So it can be done, but the point of your vacation is to recharge that battery.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I talk to my agents about minimum one scheduled day off a week.
Yes.
Because you got to recharge or you just burn out and then you're no good to your clients. So you have to make that decision. Am I going to have someone cover for me so that I can disengage and pull right back and actually get out there, relax, and just forget about my business? The best vacations for me were always cruises.
Yes.
And I think that's why we took them so much back then. You'd just go in, you'd open that safe in the room, you'd throw your cell phone in there,
Yes.
turned it off. I pulled it out the last night to charge it up when I got off the boat the next morning.
Yep. Yep.
It was awesome.
Well, on that level, you had touched on it a few seconds ago about some of the times when you would stay on.
Yes.
What are some recommendations for when you do stay on that might help some of our agents?
Some of the things you still need to do, you need to let the clients know that you're actively working with, that you are going to be away, and your normal response time might not be in effect.
So set the right expectation.
Yeah, manage your customer's expectation up front. You should still have someone as a just in case.
Yes.
What if that client that's been sort of looking or waiting for the perfect house and it does pop on and you're out of town and they can't get a hold of you? That's the case where if you have someone, they know that they can reach out and you get something in place ahead of time so your client is looked after. So you still need that just in case person.
So my thoughts on that as well is you also need to set the right expectation with that agent that you're going to be leaning on as well. Something such as perhaps a commission agreement.
Yeah, and
prior to
those
leaving.
I'll start getting into more about all the nitty gritty if you've got someone and what to put in place to make sure that they're protected, you're protected, and there's no hard feelings at the end of the day.
Yes.
And we don't get client involvement in a commission fight.
Right. So just like with our clients, with other agents, we've got to set the right expectation.
Absolutely.
Every step of the way. If they are leaving their business with someone, what should they do as we are a designated agency brokerage?
Well, first of all, with designated agency, it is the brokerage and you. And that's it. That it's not the old common law where everybody could handle the file.
Yes.
So we need to be cognizant of that. So if you're going to have someone come in and cover, you have to notify your clients, make sure they're aware of it, that you're going to be away, all of that information, who will be handling your business, how they can reach them, make sure they're okay with that, and explain the situation again about designated agency. An email exchange between you with them agreeing and put into the file is fine.
Yes.
If you want to be 100% positive, you can do an amendment to the listing agreement
Yes.
or the buyer exclusive representation agreement and designate that agent in. That's a lot more paperwork. If the clients have given the permission in writing,
Yes.
then it's perfectly acceptable.
Okay.
Now that we've set that up, what the best way to do this, especially for your listings and any very active buyers, make sure the person who's covering for you, that you arrange a one-on-one personal meeting so that you can make sure they're going to look after the client, gets to be confident.
Yes.
Because these are people that may get an offer or may want to write an offer. They have to have confidence in the agent. They trust you, they hired you, so by extension, they will sort of trust the person you're recommending.
Yes.
But of course, nobody's me or you, right?
I tell you.
So it's a good idea to get them in there. Make sure that there's a comfort level both ways
Yes.
and that everybody's ready to move forward if something happens. Other things that are the nuts and bolt things to do, make sure they have access to your files. So all of the information that they're going to need. And you can do that, of course, electronically through our back end,
Yes.
but that'll be just whatever has been filed with listing or conveyancing.
Right.
So I still would recommend pulling the paper file, giving it to them so they have everything. You want to give them access into your back end system with CIR
Yes.
so they can record everything for you, check on stuff, do all of that. You can password protect your commissions. It's quite easily done on the virtual office. You just set it up under your profile and your commissions will be removed from that section of your transactions.
Right.
So if you don't want to have that information out there, they will see the number of deals you're doing, things like that. And of course, access to Matrix.
Yes.
What if they do a listing, a deal, something for you, and they've got to get in there and post that information up to keep you within that 2-day business window of updating MLS
Yes.
and updating the brokerage with all the paperwork.
Yep.
Pagers.
Pagers.
Remember those?
I
We
remember
still
those.
call it pager forwarding. I don't know of a realtor that has a pager.
I know of
I know a couple
few.
that have a flip phone, but
I know of a
That's
few.
about it.
I won't mention any names, but yeah, and
Yeah.
some of our most successful people still use flip phones. Yes.
yes, we'll talk about Ali later. We've all heard that story. He loves his flip phone. I don't know what he's going to do if it ever dies because I don't think he'd even buy one anymore.
I don't even think they make them.
No, why would they?
Yeah.
It's so 90s.
Quite the jab at Ali.
Yeah,
I'm seeing
I
this.
tease him about it all the time, but I can't argue with his success. So
No, definitely not.
it's working. So make sure that the pages that are sent out through our system, it's easy to update and forward to them right on your virtual office.
Yes.
Go on and have a look. Make sure your email has a vacation responder turned on. And so people will know in there, if you want, you can put the contact information for the agent that's covering you, or ask them to call into the office and have this person paged whatever you've agreed to and set up with your cover
Yes.
person. Forward your showing time. You've got listings, you might like people to still be able to show the house.
100%.
So make sure that's forwarded and set up, that you change and update your MLS listing to show who's covering the business.
Yes.
So you're no longer the contact agent. You'll still be the listing agent, but they're the person they need to contact if they have questions or not going to use showing time.
Yes.
Make sure your backup has all your info. Now the last one, because you're going to put your cell phone away and not answer calls no matter what, you're going to let everything go to voicemail, and you're going to have a very nice voicemail message explaining that you are on vacation. Please call this number if it's urgent, have so-and-so paged, or reach them at their cell at.
Yes.
And if they leave a message, if you choose to say, I will check my messages once a day, that's up to you. If you say, I will respond to all messages on my return, that's perfect.
Again, setting the expectation.
Exactly. And people will listen, even if they have to call back in. Little thing on messages like that, repeat your phone number twice, slowly. Don't go 403-969-2348. Thank you.
Huh?
Exactly. 403-969-2348.
Yep.
2348. And then say it again. So they've got time to write it down.
Yes, and a lot of times nowadays, voicemails are automatically converted to text.
Yes.
So when you say it clearly, it'll actually come through in that text message,
Yep.
which can save a little bit of grief for sure.
So it is really important. You want to have a good vacation when you come back. You want happy clients. a little bit of forethought. Don't leave these things for the morning of. Your flight's at 9 o'clock, you got to be at the airport by 7.
Yes.
That's not the time to sit down and figure out how to do a vacation responder.
No.
You can set it up ahead of time, put dates, start dates, end dates, everything else.
Yep. On my last trip, I actually time blocked 3 hours the day before to set all these things into play. Because you're 100% right. A lot of you out there with kids, as soon as you get up to go to the airport that day, all hell breaks loose.
Yep.
Nothing goes as planned. So trying to squeeze in an hour to do all these things, it's just not going to happen.
And trying to do it all on your phone when you're inside waiting at the gate to get on the plane, not the right time either.
You should try and set the expectation with yourself that vacation starts the day before.
Yes.
And the planning and the preparation, you have to set that expectation within yourself and plan accordingly.
Well, and we started a few years ago, we actually handed our business off. If we were leaving on a Wednesday, everything went to the other realtor by Monday evening.
Yes.
And Tuesday we were, as far as our clients concerned, already on vacation.
Yes.
You got to do laundry, you got to pack, you got to chase your kids, you got to do all those things. All of this, it just makes your life so much easier. There's enough stress taking 3 kids to the airport and everything else, let alone going, uh-oh, did I do that?
Yep.
And am I going to have $10,000 disappear out of my business because I didn't set it up correctly?
Right.
So make sure you do it right.
Very, very good tips, David. And any last things you think that they should do?
Well, agent paperwork ahead of time. The biggest issue we will have with someone on vacation is when the realtor who covers for them has an expectation of this for handling a transaction, and your expectation was they would get this.
Right.
Have the discussion, put it in writing, have an email exchange between you two, so everybody's on the same page. And if they come to us, the first thing I was taught to say to an agent that was complaining about this was, where's your agreement?
Yes.
What did you put in writing? You didn't put anything in writing.
Yes.
Okay, who do I like better then? They'll get the money. That's the position you're putting us in as a company if we have to make a decision. So we would like you to get it in writing, get it protected,
Yes.
and there's no hard feelings. If you get someone great to cover your business, they are saving you a ton of money in lost business.
Yes.
Treat them right, they will treat you right.
I agree in full.
Yeah.
What's interesting there as well is if you're taking a listing and you know you have a vacation coming up, you should be telling your prospective listing you are going on vacation. It's very infuriating for some sellers to learn that, great, I signed my listing, and a week later their agent is going away on vacation for 2 weeks. Some people unfortunately wouldn't list with that person. On the flip side, if you come at it with setting that expectation again, telling them you have it under control, explaining the scenario, most people will still list with you. But it's that being caught off guard and finding out that I signed with you.
And you weren't up front.
And you weren't up front.
Exactly.
Yes, yes.
And we're all entitled to vacations. The last thing I want to say is 2 things. And this one is security-wise. Take a photo of your passport, your driver's license, all of your credit cards you're going to take with you. Store them to your Dropbox, Google Drive, whatever. You can get on a computer anywhere in the world if something happens and access that information. So make sure you have it. It's really simple to do. And take the picture of the back of the credit card, the one with the 1-800 number on who to call.
Yes.
Because when they steal your wallet, you don't have that anymore. So just having the numbers on the front, not great.
Yes.
So, and then the last thing, go have fun, de-stress, relax, unplug as much as possible. You'll come back refreshed and happy, even if you go to the happiest place on earth with your children and want to kill them by the end of the day.
Yes.
So
Well said. Great tips, David.
we got a great summer coming up. Drive safe, be safe, act responsibly, and have fun.
Absolutely. I think we'll break for one short video, and then we'll be back to discuss a few more things.
Yeah, something boring you're going to look after, I think.
Yes.
Tips
Sale
or
by owner and working with discount brokerages.
Excellent.